or Oklahoma?
No, I think it was USA. And so,
Oh,
yeah, and so, yeah, it was only 3 minutes. That was the case. I was like, hey, I was trying to talk to you. I was like, Coach, you were just standing in one spot. So I was like, I think it locked
yeah,
me
no,
off.
yeah,
And because you wasn't
that
moving for like
freeze,
2 minutes, you was in the same
yeah,
spot.
and
Like I'm like, Coach,
that free
Coach,
that
Augusta,
that
Augusta,
free.
stop. And you wasn't moving. I said, oh man, he ain't moving. And then so
And
then next thing you know, boom, I got kicked out of the screen. So I was like, oh shoot. And so that's
man,
why I said, let me text him and let me do this other interview. And it was 3 minutes. And I was like, all right, let me jump back on it. And then you said you had that interview like
yeah,
10
man,
minutes
had to
later.
man had to run around double back. But yeah, no, man, just wanted to the last because I know we were chopping it up and discussing, the growth of how to diversify the sport. I talked about Ed Ruth and Jordan and Coach Monday, which I'm trying to work right now to get a buddy of mine trying to say, I'm like, man, let me, because I believe they're reintroducing or they just reintroduced, I think coaches out there at Morgan State or something like that, like one of the HBCUs that had like reintroduced wrestling. And I was like, yeah, I said, man, I got a buddy who I really want to tap into that and see, I said, because that's an interesting pipeline. But
Mm.
man, even outside of growing the diversity, really just wanted to see now you're in Greeley, you're in Northern Colorado. It got announced. A lot of buzz went to it just due to, and even like you said earlier, your identity as a wrestler. But I think it was more than, the identity that you've gotten away from of just being like, oh, Teyon the wrestler, of now being like, hey man, like this is a coach, this is a mentor, this is a father figure, this is somebody active in the community, this is somebody who's really encouraging these folks. Like now you're at Northern Colorado. Last year they had, I believe it was last year, the season before, where it was like they kind of took a step back. With you going there, what is the plan to recruit to Northern Colorado, because it is a smaller program? And number two, what's the process to recruit to Northern Colorado? And number three, what is the process to recruit to Northern Colorado? Because it's all about the talent. It's money and talent are the big things. So what's the plan of action to get the ball rolling up there in Greeley?
Well, one, you gotta get the community behind it. Besides Air Force, who's fully funded, that's the government.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So, and people that are going there, they're most definitely on a different mindset of thinking. And I appreciate those guys, for doing
Right.
that. So at the end of the day, besides Air Force, Northern Colorado is the only D1 school next to it, and then the second D1 school there. And you got some talent out of Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, these Kansas, these states that are close to it. So the deal is letting them know, one, the perks that you got here. If you got dreams of wanting to wrestle international, we're an hour half away from Colorado Springs from the
Yep.
Olympic.
From the facility. Yep.
So, the deal is yes, easily get you down there, to where you get in, with the training camps with the elite and everything. And so, another good perk of having, you have UNC's all time winning wrestler, and that's Andrew Lyris that's staying back, that's going to help. I believe his testimony is going to be a big factor to guys because why? That's a dude that's been in his comfort zone.
He's done
And
it.
and the deal is, you know, you'll hear him say it, hey, I was too comfortable. So I
Mm.
wasn't seeing the success that I was seeing. And I had to make myself uncomfortable, you know, which was discipline to go get the results to a place I hadn't been to. Everybody's always wanting to be, you know, at that number one spot. But they tend to forget, to be number one, you got to be odd. You got to be a little odd. I mean, because number one is odd. And so
No,
at the end of the day, you
all the
can't, you
time.
can't, yeah, you just can't be, like everybody. But we're so quick to want to be the best, and we're not willing to go through that suffer. And so those are questions I
Mm.
ask young men, and how do you deal with adversity? Yeah, everybody always go, oh yeah, I think I do with adversity real well. No,
Yeah. I'm resilient. It's like,
yeah. No, give a real evaluation because you haven't been. If I've been winning all my life, I ain't done with no adversity.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I ain't done with that stuff. If my coaches, high school coaches, never yelled at me, I haven't dealt with no adversity or this, that, and the other because, hey, everything's feel good. And a lot of times, you
Right.
get guys that hadn't been yelled at, and coach got in their face till they're grown men, adults. And at the end of the day, they don't know how to do that. At the end of the day, you know, I think of coaches like a Nick Saban. I look at coaches like a Greg Popovich or Bill Belichick. Those guys, they're legendary coaches for a reason. That
Exactly.
I don't believe there's any person that's been under those coaches that have said, coach wanted me to fail. He wanted me
Mm,
to fail. He didn't want me to do well. No, the deal is at the end of the day, you were going to have to get on board with him instead of him getting on board with you. You
right.
can't be a part of his team, not him coming to be a part of your team.
You got to get on the
And
program.
and and
Got to get on the program.
exactly. So it's laying that, of letting these young men know, this is going to be our core. It's about doing the small things right. It's about letting go of the small bad things, and it's just learning them. Hey, to do greatness, you're gonna have to suffer.
Mm,
It's amazing how we as Christians we want to go to heaven, but we don't want to die.
right. Man, man, listen. That's a
Yeah,
word. That's a word
you
on the
know,
Saturday.
it's like at the end of the day, we don't want to go. Even though Jesus tells us, if I have to be a follower, if you're gonna be a follower of mine, you have to what? Die
Give it.
to
Yep.
yourself. You have to die, to yourself daily. He didn't say die once in a while. He said daily.
Daily.
And at the end of the day, if teaching these young men, yeah, I can give you the tools to be successful on the mat, but that's temporary. That's going. Your name's gonna come and go. I want to give you the tools that others have given me. Christ has given me. That's gonna last for a lifetime. Because, like I said, I can give you the tools to be a national champion, and 10 years down the road, you're a deadbeat father, you're a deadbeat husband, and
Right.
you're not there doing what's right. To me, that's where I feel like I failed because I was
Mhm.
pushing you more for
For
you know,
life. For
yeah,
life.
quick
Yeah.
pleasure, and so I want to give you those tools for life because at the end of the day, wrestling is what you do. Allow it to open up doors because that money, believe me, that money that you get in wrestling, yeah, it might be a lot to you, but I promise you, that money you gonna go through it like that. You gonna put
It's gonna be.
it. I mean, you got
And
think about how the many young men and women you got that are making millions and run through it. So
exactly.
that little six figures you get, little six figures you getting,
Yeah.
you gonna
Here,
run through it.
here today, gone
Gone
tomorrow. Yeah,
tomorrow,
man.
exactly.
That.
So,
But like you said, that mindset of, it's, even reference Bible. You look at the story of Joseph. There's always
mhm.
the idea of everyone wants the coat. Like
Right.
you think of the coat, like, oh man, Joseph, and Joseph in the coat. It's like you don't understand the process of what that coat led to. Yeah, it was a cool coat. It was colorful. His father favored him. Got thrown in a pit. Got thrown into slavery. Was locked down, racked down, almost killed. It was like all of this, but you just see the end outcome. Like, man, Joseph has this great story. Look at what it had to go. Like you see the coat, you see the outcome, but it was like the suffering, the
Oh yeah.
pain,
Oh
the
yeah.
work. All it was like, man, those other three to four chapters of his life
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
really sucked before he was able to achieve this. So, yeah, man, that getting these kids out of their comfort zone, and I like how you reference specifically out. Let's call it the big sky, like
Mhm.
in that area. What's the plan to? What kind of young person are you looking for when you recruit? Well, who is it you want to bring into Greeley?
I want to bring young men, that one, they want it for themselves. You hear the saying, if it's to be, it's up to me. You hear that.
Right,
And at the end of the day, it can't be your mama's dream, it can't be your daddy's dream. If your mind, I hear a young man, oh, I want to make all this money for my family. Well, then I'm not the one for you. The deal is, though,
right.
at the end of the day, because you're wrestling just to make your money for your family. And then of course, we can get you
That's it.
there. And then you're
That's
already
it.
telling me the money is where you're going to lead, because, mom's going to say, well, the little money that you're giving, I appreciate it. You did it when you didn't have to. Now there's another school that wants to give me this. At the end of the day,
Forever
there's
chasing
always
that
something
dollar.
more. Yeah, and I get it and I understand it, but at the end of the day, there's always somebody that can give you a little more. But at the end of the
Mm.
day, what do you want more of? Because at the end of the day, yeah, I understand the world puts the pressure on us with money, but a lot of these kids, they got money, they have no education of how to save it and use it, and at the end of the day, you know, so quick to get it, so quick to spend it, like you said. And so those are things I teach young and want to teach young men of. Once again, nothing great comes from instant gratification. When you actually have to suffer, and you gotta put your blood, sweat, and tears. That you're not gonna just let it go to waste because you put too much time. It costs you. Like if my parent bought me a Lamborghini. I'm not gonna appreciate it as I might appreciate it the
Oh
moment I
no.
got it.
Oh no.
Like I might appreciate the
Mm.
moment I got it, but my mindset is gonna think, well, if you can buy me one, you can buy me another. You can eventually buy me another. So I'm gonna live how I want to
So,
live in that. But if I know I put something down on this 2015 Honda, I had to put half of my money on that. Hey, I'm about to be a little smart. Hey man, let's go drive over here. Let's go. Hey man, hey, unless I
man,
got gas money. Hey
listen.
man,
We not eating in this car. We not
yeah,
drinking in this
drinking in
car.
this
We not
car. Yeah,
smoking in this car.
yeah. We're not doing those things. It's at the end of the day, I have to put something down on it. I have to put something down on it, and those are things. When you have a foot in the game, when you up in there, you're not just gonna let it go to waste. And so with
Mm.
young men, it's letting them. Oh yes, I want to reward you, but I want to reward you when you get the results. I don't want to just give it to you because then you say I made it, I done it, I made it, I'm good. And that's when, like you said, comfort, comfortness, comfortableness kicks in. And when comfortableness kicks in, that's when dreams die. That's when things goes. That's when goals, become stagnant. That's when people stop pushing themselves. And at the end of the day, as a coach, I got young goals too. I have goals. I testify to these guys. Hey, I got goals too. I asked Northern Colorado to give me $500,000 for my for my pay count. They said, well, "What do you want for your side?" I want $500,000. Of course, they laughed at me, looked at me sideways. All right, coach, let's be a little reasonable. All right, 300,000. Looked at me even more sideways. So at the end of the day, by the time we got done with that meeting, it was more, give me something to work towards that I can work
Mm.
more, a little more for me and my staff. And so that's what it is getting something that I can always do a little bit better. I can always do a little bit more. There's always work to be done. And that lets me know I'm not getting complacent because it's easy to get complacent and start looking at, oh, look at what I did. Look at, and then that's where the enemy, that's where the devil went in. We start to think like that. Oh, that's when he know he got us. Like I'm glad you brought up that story of Joseph because during many people don't get that. God gave him that vision. He gave him that dream. He didn't tell him the testing he was going to go through.
Yeah.
Most of us would have quit. Most of us don't even realize we're going through that test of Joseph.
No.
Through that test of Joseph, you had to learn unforgiveness. You had to learn unforgiveness because, this dude got falsely accused. He got betrayed by his own
His
blood. He
blood.
got,
Blood.
yeah, he got falsely accused of rape and he got forgotten. He had been forgotten. So he could have easily been like,
Gave
whoa,
up.
this is the dream. This is the dream you gave me, Lord. Man. But then he had an opportunity to get vengeance and he didn't. And so at the end of the day, because he understood you meant it for evil, God meant it for good. And
Good.
so that was the testing that we got to go through. And that's something I know we're all going through. I know we all battle with is young men that are, even including young women as well, but young men that I like to know their background. What drives them? What is driving them? A lot of them are dealing with bitterness and unforgiveness. And if you're not, you're hanging on to that, that will bring you up short. You will fall short of where you're supposed to be and everything like that. And that that story is a prime example because you know forgiveness and hanging on to the past and keep looking back is hard to strive forward.
Hard. hard that you keep
and that's
keep
the
looking,
things I
but
like to teach
yeah,
guys.
keep looking behind you when God told you go forward, you end up like Lot's wife. You just
Exactly,
just
exactly.
look just as the old folk in church used to say, what they used to say, I continue to press towards the mark. Like
Yes, run
man, but
towards the
it's
prize.
that's
Run
it.
towards the prize. No, you're exactly right. And how many people, how many people, are still frozen in place because they keep wanting to look back. They keep wanting to go back to their comfort zone. Many of you might believe she turned into a pillar of salt, just salt. No, or maybe her heart turned into a pillar of salt because she just kept looking back. She did not want to go nowhere.
Couldn't go forward.
Yeah, she couldn't go to
Couldn't
where
go
God.
forward.
She that's all she was comfortable and used to. And how many dudes you got that tell the stories? Boy, yeah, I would have done this and should have
It,
done this,
the
but
Yep, what do they call it? They arrested development. Like
yes,
your peak
yes,
year,
yeah,
we all know the dude who, is still, you were 2 years removed from high school and he would still go to the games with the varsity jacket and coach and mentor people. But now you looking up and it's 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20 years, and it's still the same dude at the game. And now it goes from transitions from you were a mentor and giving people insight to now you never got past your heyday. You still
right,
that same 18-year-old.
right,
And what my kid from neighborhood Ray said, you look at people and they grew, but they didn't age.
right,
So
right,
you grew, but in that time you
yeah,
never aged. You're the same person you were at 16, 17. Because it was adversity hitting. You said, this is what's comfortable. It's
right.
like, man, it's a cold world.
Yeah,
Cold
no, you're
world.
exactly right. And you got a lot of little hometown heroes
Yeah.
that live like that. And at the end of the day, you know, once again, you know, God used people. Once again, Joseph was out of his comfort zone.
Yep.
He was out of his comfort zone. God used people that were comfortable and cool with getting out of their comfort zone.
Man, well, that's gonna be, man. So now that's recruiting this. I'm a finish up with this because I know you just got hired. So of course there's the beginning of the building of the staff. Have you began to build the staff? Have you made any calls, or what's the next step with who you're going to bring on to help you in this? I don't want to call it a rebuild, but I want to say this renovation
Hmm.
of what's going on in Greeley at Northern Colorado.
Well, if I'm being honest with you, I was really trying to get the job for Coach Earl Hall. I've known Earl for a long time, and I know he's been putting in some work there. And so during that process, I was really trying to help him get it. Because I knew
Mm,
that the young men respected him, the community loved him, and when I knew he wasn't going to get it, I told him, hey, my name's in that mix. I don't know if I get a call. He said, well, if you get the job, man, I'm gonna stay with you. I said, cool. And got the call and kept him in the loop. And he says, I'm in. I'm in. So I'm going to keep Coach Earl Hall as an assistant. Now we're opening up for a bigger guy, a bigger coach. You know, um, to apply. We've had a few guys apply. At the end of the day, I'm going to take trust and loyalty and
mm,
good character, good heart, doing the small things right over accolades, over a big name, because at the end of the day, looking for a coach, obviously, that walk it like you talk it, pretty much,
facts.
and it ain't about just screaming at guys and yelling at guys. No, your coaches, you know, once again, do you want to be a coach or you want to be a mentor? Those are two different things. And
That's
at the end
big,
of the
man.
day, I'm wanting to train mentors. Just like I told my mentors to train me to be a mentor,
Mm,
and that's to pour into you instead of just take out of you. Coaches take
mm,
out of you, mentors pour into you, and
word
and
up.
and, and at the end of the day, that's what Jesus was. He was a mentor. He poured into his guys, even when they couldn't, they didn't get it, they won't get it. Still poured into. A lot of times, it took till he was gone before they got it. You
Yep.
know, and I get glimpses of that. When I get guys that are in the coaching realm, they'll call me years later and they'll call and they'll apologize. What you apologizing for? I see it now as a coach, man. I got this knucklehead that's giving me fits, and I know I was like that too. And I just want to apologize.
Mm,
I'm glad you're seeing it. Now mentor that guy, like I did with you.
exactly.
And so that's what I'm looking for in a staff member is, yeah, you can be a 2, 3 time national champion, but if your core ain't right, the most likely you're gonna be here 2 years. It tops that. You know, family wise, I want a guy that's a family man. Because when you got a family, you're looking to settle
You,
down. You ain't gonna want to keep picking up your family. I can't. It's hard to
yeah.
have the single guys that
Who
hang out with
who
the
as my
costume.
granddaddy say they don't. Yeah, they don't. That my grandfather used to say they ain't got nobody to answer to.
Right. And so, now I'm hearing about you with students on campus. I ain't trying to do that, or with
Man,
hanging out with our
man,
students. I'm not
no,
trying to be.
exactly.
And so my deal is, being, a level above, but at the end of the day, you're letting them know we're going through these same battles together.
Mm,
As leaders, man, at the end of the day, to me, you got two different types of leaders. You got leaders that want all the athletes to do, want all the people to do the work for them so they can walk through the door, or you got leaders that, are trying to break down the door themselves, and then they have the people to support them behind them, like
mm,
they giving them the help. And so that's the type of leader I want to be. I'm in that battle with you. I'm not just screaming at you from the sidelines and not in the battlefield with you. So
right.
that's just what it is. I've seen a couple mentors like that, and their guys are behind them 100%. And so I respect that, and that's what I like. And so at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for in a mentor slash coach, because that, the core got to be right. The next thing, to God and my family is my staff and their family.
Mm,
Before the athletes is my staff and their family. I'm gonna look after my staff and my family before, and their family before I look after the athlete. I'm just being real, because
that's
you
real.
cannot get the proper athletes if you ain't got the right staff.
True that. True story, man. True story. Well, shoot, man. Well, coach, it's I believe it's gonna be some. I believe y'all gonna have a great season, man. I think it's gonna be an improvement from last year. I need y'all to beat Wyoming only because I know dudes who I have partners from the neighborhood who didn't wrestle at Wyoming, but some of them, their dads and stuff played football or hoop back for Wyoming back in the day. If y'all got Bakersfield on the schedule, need you to beat Bakersfield. If any of the Utahs, don't care if it's Utah, don't care if it's Utah Tech, don't care if it's Utah Valley, I need y'all to be all of the Utahs because I need my Samoan partners who all from up there to be out of it. Be like, man, I don't want to hear. I meant beat the whole state,
the
beat the
go,
state of Utah,
I'll be
beat
real with you. The goal is to beat the conference. At the end of the day,
exactly.
it's like I said, we are doing a reconstruction year. To lose two All Americans is a big deal. Just far as leadership and everything
Yeah,
like that. We got some few guys that haven't been in the mix. Are going to get the opportunity to be in the mix, but. Every coach, majority of the coaches I've seen when they taking over a program this late in the season, you got to deal with what you're given. It's not to make no excuses, no, but you got to have a realization of it too, to where, you, okay, this is where we're lacking. This is what I need to get, because this is what I'm going to see. Because it's going to be a long season. It's not that I'm giving up my guys or this and that and the other. No, I still expect them to go out there and fight and do what they need to do. But at the end of the day, it's whoever's in front of us, whoever's in front of
right.
me. I don't care if you number one to number 91. We coming for you. But at the end of the day, I know it's going to take some time. It's going to take a year or two to get my missing pieces of what I need to do to get up in there, and I'm excited, man. It's at the end of the day, once we get this staff and we get things going, you know, we're gonna push and strive ourselves to be ready.
I love it, coach. I love
Let's be ready, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to, for a tree or plant to grow, you're gonna have to prune it. And at the end
Mm,
of the day, for our team to grow, we're gonna have to prune this team. There's gonna be some guys that are here in August that might not be here in May. That's just
mm,
how it is. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have to prune and realize, hey, this ain't the spot for you, but I'll make some calls to coaches to get you to a different spot. But at the end of the day, this where we're trying to go. You're used to this way. Hey, this ain't the spot for you.
mm. Yeah, it's gonna be great season, great things expected, man. The conference, I'm definitely gonna be following up with you, man, and watching the season. I'm gonna make sure I renew this Flow Wrestling
Oh
so I
yeah.
can continue, man, to watch and support. But yeah, man, Coach, I greatly appreciate it, man. Your time. I'll let you go about the rest of the day, man. God bless. I don't believe in good luck. I believe y'all gonna have a blessed season, man, a healthy season. And yeah, I believe wherever the missus is, greetings to the missus.
Yeah. Oh
Cause I'm
yeah.
sure she like I got stuff to do. I got things to get ready up here,
Oh
you know.
no, she's already out doing her thing, so I ain't too worried
Correct.
about it. The deal is at the end of the day, I'm glad you said that. I'm not a good luck man either. At
Yeah,
the end of
man.
the day, go. I tell people that you, you need luck to win the lottery. That's luck, and but something I've trained for. That's offensive when somebody says luck. Then why,
Yeah,
if that's the case, I don't need to do all this hardcore training. I don't need to
exactly.
be putting all this work in. I know they mean it well, but it's like, go get them, Because at the
Exactly.
end of the day, I don't want nobody, when I come out on top, to say, oh, that was luck,
It was exact. No,
It was all
no,
luck, At the end of the day, no, it's just we capitalized on the moment at the right time. That's what it is. Because, you know, that's just how it is in competition. It's capitalizing in that moment right there. It ain't, oh, that team's just dominant. Yeah, that's some teams that just get out dominated. But at the end of the day, if I got, maybe the score might not reflect it, but if I lost 4 or 5 matches in overtime at one point, it just fell on their turf that time. They just capitalized on it. So at the end of the day, I tell my guys, go get them, go get them.
that's right.
Go get it. If you want it, go get it. I can't. I'm not gonna wish you luck. Luck is, yeah, you scratching a lottery ticket, and all these
Yep,
numbers the
yep,
pop out. Luck is, yeah, you trying to roll a seven. That's some luck. You need some luck on that. Luck is,
man,
those some luck things. But
man.
I don't care what anybody says. You cannot, unless they loaded. You cannot,
No,
be a professional dicer.
no, yeah, no, yeah, yeah. You ain't no professional dice roller. No,
Yeah.
no, no,
So
no. It's not
I
happening.
don't want to hear nobody say they're professional dicer.
No, no, that ain't happening.
Don't work that way. So my deal is yeah, put the work in. You gonna get in what you get out what you put in. And at the end of the day, I understand, starting from the bottom again, which is good. I gotta do twice as much work, to get half of what a lot of these cats got. And that's okay.
It's gonna be a great season, coach, and I remember what it is, man. And just I would tell every one of the young men on your team. I can't pronounce it, but Oklahoma's state motto: "Work conquers all."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Work
Oh,
that
work conquers all. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, work. You got to go work.
that's it,
And I
man.
mean, you want to be ahead of the game. If you got to catch up, you got to catch up. But you want to stay ahead of the game.
That's it, man. Yes,
And
sir.
that's the good thing of getting these young men to understand the brand.
That's it, man. Well, the brand is Northern Colorado, man. This is Coach Teyon Ware. Again, man, Coach, I appreciate you. Blessings, man, to you and the missus. And it's gonna be, man, dope season, man. I'm expecting, man. If you're a recruit and you watching this is if you're not scared, if you're not shook, if you believe it's bigger than you, it's the place you need to be, man. It's the place you need to be.
Hey, man, well, I appreciate it. Yes. Hey, like I said, we're looking for talent everywhere. So, like I said, it's all right. Everybody come skiing in the mountains. Come out there. Ain't too far from Denver. You can fly home real quick.
Man, man,
So,
there you go.
yeah,
There you go, man. You
go
heard
just
that all the kids in LA, all the kids in Long Beach wrestling programs, all the kids in LA, all the kids in Orange County, you heard it. You heard it. You could, man, it's a short flight. Jump on that
yeah,
southwest of that frontier. Get
yeah.
right back to the state.
Exactly. So, like I said, if you get cold, I got a heater for you. You're gonna be in the wrestling room anyway. So
Get
yeah,
in that mat room. Get
yeah,
yeah,
you in
mat room will
that
warm
wrestling
you up.
room anyway. So no, I'm excited, man. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward towards it. I appreciate the opportunity of getting up on here, and let's be in touch, I guess.
yeah. Most definitely, Coach. Appreciate you, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, I'll most definitely be in touch.
All right, you take care. You too.
All right, Coach. God bless. Peace.
You too.